So we got a lot to talk about today regarding Uncle Howdy. Of course, the news, the theories, they just keep coming, and I love it. But of course, we got to start off with the update today from Uncle Howdy on Uncle Howdy's journal, the new entry, Massacre. Now, this can be found at the bottom of the page of the journal. Now, that obviously is important because of the date orientation of this. It is in order of date, the bottom being 2024, so the most recent entry. And Uncle Howdy on this entry would say, the eye of the storm approaches. It is inevitable. One chance of survival. Instructions to follow. Now, my first thought is that this is obviously talking about the debut. The return of Uncle Howdy. The debut of what we think is going to be the Wyatt 6 faction. The eye of the storm approaches. Obviously talking about the opportunity to return. But one chance of survival. Does that kind of indicate that, you know, this is Bo's only chance to get this right? This is Bo's only opportunity. If his faction doesn't work out, for example, there's no other people that could help him. That this is his opportunity. Final part, instructions to follow. If it wasn't as clear as day already. I know some people have theorised other things, but this proves that Uncle Howdy is the leader of the group. He's going to give the instructions to the members. This entry being titled Massacre seems significant because on Saturday, Uncle Howdy took over WWE.com with the final line being, "A massacre is coming." Now that is building expectation because one of the things that we've really theorised with this whole Wyatt 6 group is that their return to WWE could be a mirror of what Bray did at Extreme Rules. You know, end of the show, big theatrics, and then out walks the group. Something like that could happen, and it still could. But this is setting the stage that Uncle Howdy is going to come in and destroy everyone. Like, beat up 6 people backstage, you know, go and attack Michael Cole and Pat McAfee at ringside. Let's get the person in the ring and let's surround them and actually beat them down 6-on-1. That kind of stage is being set by the word massacre. But maybe now we can start theorising and looping some of this stuff together. Now, obviously, the other day we saw Uncle Howdy stood by a lake in the woods. Now, a lot of people are wondering if this is a reference to the lake of reincarnation. One thing I really have to point out is that while this is, I'm very sure, filmed at Rob Fee's house, I've seen a lot of people theorising that, I don't think that's actually relevant. I think the people that are pushing the agenda that it's filmed at Rob Fee's house are simply doing it for a reason to tag Rob Fee on Twitter and a reason to try and get some likes from Rob Fee. Because while Rob Fee is definitely liking tweets publicly about this and obviously following what fans are saying, the expectations that fans have, I've not seen him actually like a single tweet about this being filmed at his house. So for this part of it, you have to think not literally what it is, but what does it actually represent? Now, while the Lake of Reincarnation is a really good theory, it could also be just simple references to the Wyatt compound or even just to the man in the wood story. But let's stick with the Lake of Reincarnation because one thing we do know is that Matt Hardy right now is in TNA. He's not signed to TNA and he's still technically a free agent, but he is in TNA. And it's also worth noting as well that news report states that Jeff Hardy AEW contract could be coming up soon as well. If Jeff was to join Matt Hardy, whether it be in TNA or whether they go back to WWE, the possibility of them doing something to the Wyatt 6 makes a ton of sense. I would love to see Willow or Itchweed or Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy versus members of the Wyatt 6. That would be so cool. And I think one of the criticisms of the Hardy Boys is that they have slowed down. Being those kind of characters would allow them to slow down, and it makes sense from a storyline point of view. Hardy Boys versus Wyatt 6. And one of the reasons you can loop this back to what you saw with Uncle Howdy, well, Uncle Howdy therefore visited the Lake of Reincarnation to maybe reincarnate himself and the members of his group. Now, going back to this Massacre post, obviously the eye of the storm approaches. There's a brief opportunity to actually come through and do this. Now, when you go back to the intro they gave us, the edited intro where they took CM Punk out and put what we think is Sister Abigail in, it's the same image, obviously, they use there to what we see in the thing. But is this the eye of the storm around Sister Abigail in these images? Look around her. It's like a circle. Looks like something's emerging. Looks like there's cracks coming over the person. Like those cracks even got put into the intro themselves. Is this a crack in the universe that Sister Abigail is coming through on? maybe, and that would explain why Uncle Howdy and this faction has one chance of survival as they come through the eye of the storm. Just for those who may not know, Sister Abigail is obviously the deity character that Bray Wyatt would follow the word of. And this faction has referenced they're going to follow the words of the Red. Now, we assume that's Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt followed Abigail. So if you're going to follow Bray, then surely you're following Sister Abigail, right? I love this. Honestly, one post on a random Sunday afternoon has got everyone talking all over again. Who knows what we're going to get tomorrow on Raw, let's be honest. At this point, the expectation is big. I am excited. Obviously, June 17th is the date that we are working towards. Let me know all your thoughts and theories in the comment section down below. Like the video, share the video, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you next time. Peace!